Have you ever felt trapped in an endless cycle of wanting more, yet finding yourself increasingly dissatisfied despite your growing wealth? Do you wake up some mornings wondering why financial success hasn't delivered the peace of mind you expected? If these questions resonate with you, you're not alone. Before we dive into today's life-changing content, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and like this video. It helps the algorithm share these Stoic principles with others who might be struggling just like you once did. And drop a ready in the comments if you're prepared to transform your relationship with money through ancient wisdom. We live in a world obsessed with accumulation, yet studies show that beyond meeting our basic needs, more money rarely equals more happiness. What if I told you that the ancient Stoics discovered the secret to financial contentment thousands of years ago? Their wisdom might be exactly what you need in today's materialistic world. What's your biggest financial frustration right now? Share it in the comments. I read every single one, and your insight helps shape future videos. Practice 1. The Wealth Inventory Exercise. The Stoics believed that gratitude begins with awareness. Instead of focusing on what you lack, start by creating a comprehensive inventory of everything you already possess. This isn't just about listing material possessions. Include your skills, relationships, opportunities, and even basic privileges many don't have. When was the last time you felt grateful for clean water or the ability to read? Epictetus taught, "He is rich who is content with the least, for contentment is the wealth of nature." This inventory practice reveals the abundance already present in your life. Start with the fundamentals: your health, your senses, your education, your freedom of movement. Then expand to material possessions, not just the expensive items, but the everyday tools that make life possible: your kitchen utensils, your clothing, your shelter. The ancient Stoics would often reflect on how many people throughout history never experienced the comforts we take for granted. Imagine explaining to Marcus Aurelius the miracle of instant hot water, refrigeration, or the ability to communicate with anyone globally in seconds. This practice becomes transformative when done regularly. Many of my students keep a wealth journal where they add one new item daily for 30 days. By day 30, their perception of their financial situation has fundamentally shifted, not because anything external changed, but because their awareness expanded. Try this. Take 5 minutes after watching this video to write down 20 things you already possess that contribute to your well-being. Many of my viewers report feeling an immediate shift in perspective after this simple exercise. Then challenge yourself to add 5 new items daily for a week. What's one possession you've taken for granted that you now realize adds tremendous value to your life? Share it in the comments. Your insight might help someone else recognize their own overlooked blessings. Practice 2. The Negative Visualization Technique. Seneca, one of Stoicism's greatest teachers, regularly practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This isn't about pessimism, but rather about appreciating what you have by contemplating its absence. Imagine losing your income source, your home, or your savings. How would your life change? This practice doesn't create anxiety, but rather profound gratitude when you return to your actual reality. The Stoics understood a psychological principle modern research confirms: hedonic adaptation. We quickly normalize our circumstances, whether good or bad. That new car or promotion brings joy briefly before becoming the new normal. Negative visualization disrupts this adaptation. Try this detailed practice. For 5 minutes, imagine losing your home. Visualize where you would sleep tonight, how you would shower, where you would store your possessions. Feel the emotions this would trigger. Then return to reality with fresh eyes, seeing your home not as an entitlement but as a blessing. Seneca himself, despite being one of Rome's wealthiest men, regularly practiced living as if he had lost everything. He would dress in simple clothes, eat plain food, and sleep on a hard mat for several days. When he returned to his normal lifestyle, his appreciation was renewed. This practice works equally well for non-material assets. Imagine losing your physical abilities, your eyesight, your freedom of movement. When you return to your actual condition, gratitude naturally arises. Financial advisors often focus on accumulation strategies, but Stoic wisdom suggests that protecting against loss aversion is equally important for contentment. By regularly practicing negative visualization, you inoculate yourself against the devastation of potential future losses. Have you ever lost something important and only then realized its value? What was it, and how did that experience change you? Your story could be exactly what another viewer needs to hear today. Practice 3. The wealth ceiling exercise. The Stoics advocated for moderation in all things, including financial aspirations. This practice involves setting a deliberate wealth ceiling, a maximum level of material comfort you'll pursue. Epictetus, who was born a slave and later became one of history's most influential philosophers, taught that freedom comes from wanting what you already have, not from having what you want. This practice challenges the modern assumption that more is always better. Research consistently shows that beyond meeting our basic needs plus some comforts, additional wealth correlates minimally with increased happiness. The Stoics understood this millennia ago. Your wealth ceiling isn't about limiting your potential, it's about defining sufficiency consciously rather than allowing external influences to create endless desire. In practical terms, this might mean deciding that a modest home in a safe neighborhood is enough, rather than constantly upgrading to larger properties. It might mean setting a specific savings target that represents true security, rather than an ever-increasing number. Musonius Rufus, Epictetus's teacher, taught that luxury weakens both body and mind. He wasn't against prosperity, but believed that when we become dependent on luxuries, we become enslaved to them. By setting a wealth ceiling, you declare independence from this form of slavery. This practice requires courage in a culture that equates net worth with self-worth. You might face judgment from others who don't understand your choices. The Stoics would say this is precisely why the practice is valuable. It strengthens your ability to live by your values rather than external validation. Consider creating 2 specific numbers: your contentment threshold, what you need to live comfortably, and your maximum ceiling, beyond which additional resources will be directed to other purposes. Document these numbers and revisit them annually. Try this. Define your enough number, the amount of money that would genuinely satisfy your needs and reasonable wants. When you reach it, redirect additional resources toward meaningful experiences or helping others. What would your wealth ceiling look like? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious to see the diversity of perspectives in our Stoic community. Practice 4. The voluntary discomfort practice. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, regularly practiced voluntary discomfort to maintain perspective and resilience. By temporarily giving up comforts we take for granted, we renew our appreciation for them. Try going without heating or air conditioning for a day, eating very simple meals, or even fasting if medically appropriate. The temporary discomfort will heighten your gratitude when you return to normal conditions. This practice has deep roots in Stoic tradition. Seneca, despite his wealth, would set aside several days each month to live as if he were poor. He wrote, "Set aside certain days on which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" The modern equivalent might be spending a weekend without electricity, walking instead of driving, sleeping on the floor, taking cold showers, or eating only rice and beans for several days. These temporary experiences create reference points that make your normal conditions feel luxurious by comparison. This practice serves multiple purposes. First, it breaks hedonic adaptation by creating contrast. Second, it builds confidence in your ability to endure difficulty, reducing financial anxiety. Third, it develops empathy for those who live with these conditions permanently. Some of my students incorporate this practice systematically, creating a calendar of monthly discomforts. Perhaps January is no heating month, February is walking only month, March is simple food month. Others prefer spontaneous challenges. The key is approaching this not as punishment, but as training. Just as an athlete deliberately faces physical challenges to grow stronger, you're building your gratitude muscles through temporary renunciation. Importantly, this practice should be approached with wisdom. If you have health conditions, consult medical professionals before fasting or enduring temperature extremes. The goal is growth through manageable discomfort, not harm. What's one comfort you could temporarily give up this week as an experiment in gratitude? Share your commitment in the comments and let us know how it goes. Practice 5. The financial memento mori. Memento mori, remember that you will die, was a central Stoic practice. Applied to finances, this reminds us that we can't take material wealth with us, shifting our focus to how we use resources while we're here. Keep a physical reminder of life's impermanence near where you make financial decisions. This could be as simple as a note saying, "Will this matter in 100 years?" or "How does this serve my highest purpose?" The Stoics weren't being morbid. They understood that contemplating mortality clarifies priorities. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This practice transforms financial planning from accumulation to allocation. Instead of asking, "How much can I gather?" you ask, "How can I best use these resources in the limited time I have?" This shift often leads to more meaningful spending, strategic giving, and intentional legacy planning. Consider creating a death budget. If you knew you had exactly 1 year to live, how would you allocate your financial resources? This exercise often reveals profound insights about your true values versus your habitual spending patterns. Some practitioners keep symbolic reminders in their wallet or near their computer, perhaps a quotation about mortality or even a small hourglass. Others schedule regular financial mortality meditations, where they review their resources through the lens of limited time. This practice doesn't mean abandoning long-term financial planning. Rather, it ensures that your planning serves your deepest values rather than abstract accumulation goals. It might lead you to accelerate certain experiences rather than indefinitely postponing them, or to increase current giving rather than leaving it all in your will. The Stoics would remind us that wealth is merely preferred indifferent, useful but not essential to a good life. By regularly contemplating our mortality, we maintain proper perspective on money's role as a tool rather than an end in itself. If you knew you had exactly 1 year left to live, how would your relationship with money change? Share your insights. Your perspective might create a breakthrough moment for another viewer. Practice 6. The Cosmic Perspective Meditation. The Stoics regularly contemplated their place in the vast cosmos to maintain proper perspective. When financial worries or materialistic desires arise, zoom out mentally to see Earth from space, then our galaxy, then the universe. From this vantage point, how important are the latest consumer goods or status symbols? This practice doesn't diminish your legitimate needs, but helps distinguish between needs and socially programmed wants. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Survey the circling stars as though yourself were in mid-course with them." This cosmic viewpoint was central to Stoic practice, helping practitioners transcend petty concerns and align with nature's larger patterns. To practice this meditation formally, find a quiet space and close your eyes. Begin by visualizing yourself in your current location. Then mentally zoom out to see your neighborhood, your city, your country, the entire Earth. Continue expanding to see our solar system, our galaxy, and the vast universe beyond. Hold this perspective for several minutes, contemplating the scale of existence and your place within it. From this vantage point, consider your financial concerns. That promotion you're worried about, the neighbor's new luxury car you envy, the investment that lost value. How significant are these against the backdrop of cosmic immensity? This isn't to invalidate your practical concerns, but to place them in proper perspective. The Stoics believed this practice cultivates what they called the view from above, an ability to see your life simultaneously from within and from a detached cosmic perspective. This dual vision allows you to address practical matters while maintaining philosophical tranquility. Many practitioners report that regular cosmic perspective meditation naturally reduces materialistic desires. When you've contemplated the majesty of galaxies, the latest smartphone model seems less compelling as a source of fulfillment. This practice pairs powerfully with financial decision-making. Before making major purchases or investments, take a few minutes for cosmic perspective meditation. You'll often find your priorities clarifying naturally, without forced discipline. Try this. Next time you feel the urge to make an unnecessary purchase, pause for a 2-minute cosmic perspective meditation. Many viewers report this simple practice has saved them thousands in impulsive spending. What's the most meaningful purchase you've ever made? What made it significant? Your answer might inspire others to reconsider what truly constitutes value. These 6 Stoic practices aren't just philosophical exercises, they're practical tools for transforming your relationship with money and finding true wealth in a world obsessed with appearances. Remember, the Stoics didn't reject prosperity. They simply understood that external wealth without internal richness is ultimately empty. By practicing gratitude first, you create the conditions for genuine financial contentment. If this video resonated with you, please hit that like button and share it with someone who might benefit from these ancient yet timeless principles. Your engagement helps this channel grow and spread Stoic wisdom to those who need it most. What was your biggest takeaway from today's video? Which practice will you implement first? Let me know in the comments below. I personally read every comment and love connecting with this thoughtful community. Until next time, remember what Seneca taught us. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has.